Are you looking to bring a little fine dining to your own kitchen? Well, MasterChef finalist Chef Brandi Alexander makes it easy with her private dining experiences, from gourmet techniques to effortless elegance. She's going to show you how to elevate every meal. She joins us here in the Charlie Wilson KitchenAid kitchen to talk about all the easy fine dining that you offer. Right? I can't believe I'm saying easy fine dining, first of all, but it can be easy.
You know, it's super simple. Most cooking is all about confidence.
Yeah.
You know, things like a filet mignon scares people. You know, I'm going to mess up this expensive piece of meat. Or, you know, plating and the way that food looks is intimidating. But let's be honest, we eat with our eyes. Even if you say you don't care what your food looks like, you do.
We do care. All right, first you're going to show us preparation of a fine dining meal, like it's all in the prep process.
So we're going to start with our filet,
Okay.
And something really important a lot of people mess up on is they pull this steak straight out of the fridge and throw it in the pan.
Yes, we do.
You do not want a cold steak, and the reason is there are muscles all in the meat, just like we have muscles. And if you throw a cold steak in a hot pan, those muscles tense up and they seize, and it creates a tough steak.
Okay.
So you want to set it out on the counter, listen, for an hour.
Okay.
2 hours is
I think
okay.
we're afraid that it's going to spoil or something like that, but that's not going to do
it's
much
not
in
going
an hour.
to. So I've had this out of my refrigerator, for example, for a couple hours now. The next thing you want to do is you want to pat it dry when you get it out. You don't want it to be wet. And when you get it out to set, you can go ahead and salt it. I did earlier, and then pat it dry again after it sets. That salt's going to draw some of the moisture out.
Okay.
Okay, so we're actually going to do a pepper crusted steak, which also sounds a little intimidating, but it's beautiful, it's elegant, it gives it just a little bit extra flair.
Okay.
And all we have here is some ground up pepper. I took whole peppercorns and I throw them, it's really a coffee bean grinder and a espresso grinder that I use for my pepper, but you can just buy coarse ground restaurant pepper is what it would be called.
Okay.
Okay, and then you're gonna take your steak that has been salted, all the edges, all around, and you're just going to press it straight into that pepper. Now, if you are a big pepper lover like me, I'm going to do both sides. If you only want to crust one side, you can just scoot that guy back. We're going to press it.
Put me in charge of the kitchen. I got stuff boiling over.
So as you can see,
there we go.
We're not going to press the sides in. We've just got a nice thick layer of pepper on both sides. You do want to make sure that you salt that steak first. Now, the second mistake people make is they either put oil into the skillet before it gets hot, or they put that steak in when it's still cold. So cast iron is my go-to for a steak. You know, it does not have to be cast iron though, just try not to use Teflon.
What kind of oil do you have in there?
Get your skillet piping hot. When it starts to smoke, I added in some grapeseed oil.
Okay, not olive oil in a cast iron.
Never use olive oil. The smoke point is not high enough. Now, if you do not use seed oils, a lot of people don't want to. You can use an avocado or a coconut. Smoke points are really high on those, but the smoke point is the highest on grapeseed oil. It's not going to burn your pan. If you have a cast iron at home that has black crusty stuff on the bottom and you can't figure out why it keeps burning.
Stop talking about my cast iron.
You probably are using olive oil.
Yeah, I think I have.
You know, so olive oil is great, you know, in the oven or in other types of pan. Don't use it in your cast iron or on super high heat. So we are going to sear this on one side just until your pepper gets brown and nutty.
Look at that.
Okay? We're going to go ahead and flip it as soon as your pepper is done. You don't want to burn it, so once that's browned, once we flip it to the other side, we are going to baste it.
Okay.
Which I think is another intimidating technique. It's super simple, and I promise it infuses tons of flavor. The sear on this steak encases the flavor in, and then when we baste it, it's going to kind of lock that moisture in. Okay. This looks like a ton of butter. Listen, we're not going to eat all this butter. You know, most of this butter isn't going to get eaten.
Fillet the butter.
So we've got about 2.5 tablespoons of butter in here. If you want to throw about half of that garlic in, I recommend using thyme with any steak. If you aren't sure about herbs and you don't know where to start, yes.
There we go.
Thyme is very versatile. It's great on vegetables. It's delicious on meat. So we've got some thyme and some butter in here.
Okay.
And then to baste it, all you're going to do, would you like to baste?
Yeah.
Ideally use a metal spoon.
Absolutely.
We're just going to be careful right now because this is plastic.
Yeah, we are.
Just turn your pan up to the side.
Okay.
You're going to take your spoon.
Show me what I'm doing.
You're going to take your spoon, and all you're going to do is just pour some of that butter right on top. You're going to think it's doing nothing. I promise it is.
I can do that. Yeah. What is it doing?
It is locking in flavor. It's locking in the moisture. Now we have seared the outside of the steak, you know, to get those juices to stay in. This is adding moisture back to it. What you also want to do is, you know, we're going a little quick right now. You want to stand your steak up on the sides. It is important to sear these edges. People forget to do that. You will lose juice and moisture this way. If you cook steaks and think to yourself, I don't know why my steak is dry, I don't know why it's tough, I didn't overcook it.
You didn't cook the sides.
You probably didn't cook the sides. You probably put it into the skillet, you know, while it was cold and didn't let it come up. These simple things will really
make it dry.
Yes. So we're gonna leave this for now because we're gonna pop it into the oven.
Did you ever cook a frozen steak?
Yes, I've cooked a frozen steak. Listen, I was young and very poor once. You can make a frozen steak taste delicious if you prepare it correctly.
Okay.
Let it thaw, let it come all the way to room temp. You want a good marinade. You want to marinate it.
Don't put it on there frozen.
Do not put it on there frozen, please. Not unless you're making a roast. Marinate it for 24 hours.
Okay.
You want to get some more flavor in to loosen that up.
Now I know.
Okay, now another thing that people love when they go to fine dining places, but they're super intimidated by and think they can't make it, is creme brulee.
Creme brulee is the best.
It's one of my favorite desserts, and you are not going to believe how incredibly simple it really is. There are 4 ingredients in vanilla creme brulee.
What are we making, like a vanilla bean lavender?
We're going to make several, but you know, I'm going to show you the base recipe first.
I see the lavender buds over there. This can be delicious.
Yes.
Okay.
So far all I've done is I've got 2 cups of heavy cream I've put in this pot.
Okay.
And I took a vanilla bean pod, and I took a knife and split it down the middle and just threw the whole pot in. Now, if you don't
give it such a great taste.
And listen, you can get super affordable vanilla bean pods on Amazon.
Okay.
Super affordable. If you don't want to mess with pods and you don't use a lot of vanilla, you can buy vanilla bean paste at Walmart, Kroger, anywhere.
But that's going to give it that really good flavor.
Yes, you can use vanilla
Impactful
extract,
flavor
but
is what I call it.
I really suggest using the paste or the pods.
Yep.
So all we did was heated this up. You don't want to boil it, even though we heated ours up a little bit too much a minute ago.
Yeah, I know.
We want to get it hot, and then we want to set it back here. It doesn't need to cool all the way down, but we want to let that vanilla infuse.
Okay.
And this has for a while, so you want to make sure you dig that vanilla bean out. Now I'll let you get a fork. Do you want to dig that vanilla bean out for me?
I'll dig it out.
Now, I have several flavors on my menu right here. This is just the base for our classic vanilla bean. I would use a fork.
Oh, I got it. And
if you don't, it's just the vanilla bean pod. I can dig that out when we're pouring it in.
Oh, there we go. There he is.
Got it?
Yep. Okay.
Okay, next thing we're going to do is we have 5 egg yolks. You do not want the egg whites. You just want the egg yolk. And you want to make sure, you know how on your egg yolk, when you separate them, there's that little chunk of white, gooey stuff?
Get it out.
Try to pull that out with a fork. Yeah, if you don't, you can usually catch it in the strainer, but we do not want scrambled eggs. We want creme brulee. So to that, we're going to add half a cup of sugar, and I'm going to let you stir that up. You just want to stir that really good. Yeah.
Okay, half a cup of sugar.
And if you have the time, you can use an electric mixer and mix it. It'll get a little fluffier, lighter. Now, our creme brulee is going to look a little more yellow than white. These are farm fresh eggs. You know that yolks are darker and more richer, so it is going to have a little bit more of a yellow color, but I don't care.
It's real.
So we are making a vanilla bean. I'm going to tell you about 2 other flavors. They start and end the exact same way. My very favorite flavor is lavender.
Yes.
All you do is add, for this amount, about 1/3 cup of dry, fresh lavender. Make sure it's food grade.
Okay.
Into your cream
while
while
your
it is
plants
heating.
out front. Yeah.
Yeah, or you can, if you grow lavender, perfect. Just don't go, to the essential oil section and get potpourri and throw it in.
No, don't do that.
Make sure it's food grade.
Okay.
And all
Throw
you're
this
going to
in?
do different, not quite, is make sure you strain the lavender. You can't dig that out with a fork like you could your spoon.
Okay.
Okay, so now here is the absolute hardest part of creme brulee. So you want to pay close attention here. We need to temper these. If I dump this in right now, it's going to turn into scrambled eggs immediately.
Okay, we may have to do the TV version because we got about 30 seconds.
Okay, so you're just going to put a little bit of the warm milk in.
Okay.
Stir it. You're going to do this 2 or 3 times. Now our eggs aren't freezing cold.
Okay.
Now we can pour it in.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to pour these into ramekins, and I'll show you how to finish them up when we come back.
Yes, we can. All righty then. So are you giving away any specials we need to tell people about, or you want to wait till the next one?
Yeah, you know, mention today's. I'll tell you a little bit more you can mention about next. And I am giving a discount right now. Proceeds are going to be donated somewhere I'll tell you about.
Okay.
If you sign up for a private dinner or for private cooking lessons.
Easy creme brulee, easy, simple filet as well. For more information, just go to southern-flair.com.